My very first experience with the World Cup was the 1978 finals hosted by Argentina. I was in secondary school. I was in Form 3 at the Government Grammar School in North Ogun State. We didn't have access to a television set in the boarding house, and the only way I followed that World Cup was through collecting cards in chewing gums. At that time, chewing gums used to come with cards, and the 1978 World Cup, the statistics, the goal scorers, match results, and photographs, they came with the cards in those chewing gums. And I could say maybe that's where my sports journalism career actually started, because I started collecting those cards, recording the results, the goal scorers, and the rest of them. Mario Kempes, incidentally, was the star of that 78 World Cup, and Argentina were the world champions. But in terms of the first World Cup that I followed, from the beginning to the end, I would say the 1982 World Cup in Spain, and that one was won by Italy. I was supporting Brazil because at that time Nigeria didn't qualify, and for us Nigerian fans, we used to adopt Brazil as our own national team. And I remember the late Yinka Craig. He was the anchor for the Nigeria Television Authority. The day the Brazil-Italy match was shown at night, because we couldn't watch it live, and there was no internet at that time, there was no GSM phone, so we didn't know the result. And Yinka Craig held all of us, spellbound. He didn't tell us the result, even though he already knew it. He just said, watch. And by the time we finished watching, Italy, Paolo Rossi scored 3 goals for Italy, and they beat Brazil in the second round of that World Cup, when Brazil were actually the favorites, to win it. So I was thoroughly disappointed because I was following Brazil. Most Nigerians, we couldn't sleep that night. It was late in the night. Of course, Italy went on to win the World Cup. Then, on a personal note, my first World Cup as a journalist was the one in 1994. And that was the first time Nigeria actually qualified. That was the one in the USA in 94. And I was lucky. I was already working with Complete Football magazine at that time. And I was selected to cover the tournament for the magazine. So that became my first experience in terms of attending a World Cup. And since then, I've also been to 2 or 3 more World Cups. I didn't go to France 19, where Nigeria didn't have a good outing. I also didn't go to Korea, Japan, because some of our other editors went to those World Cups. But then I returned to the World Cup. South Africa 2010, the first World Cup held on African soil, and then I was at the last one in Brazil 2014, when the Super Eagles under Stephen Keshi again got to the second round. If you ask me to pick, my pick of all the World Cups that I've participated, if I can use that expression, even though I didn't play, but at least working as a journalist or watching as a fan, I will pick the 1982 World Cup, the one that I said was won by Italy, because the Brazilian team of that World Cup is still considered up till today as the best team never to win the World Cup. They had star players like Zico, Socrates, Falcao, many of them, Eida. They were a wonderful team. For me, I would say the best team I've seen play at the World Cup. Of course, everybody talks about the 1970 World Cup team from Brazil that also won it, but I didn't follow the 70 World Cup. So I started following in 78, and I watched in 82, and I will pick 82 as my best World Cup ever. That's my World Cup story. Thank you very much.